It started like any other high-profile hearing. A tense silence, a few whispers, reporters hovering outside, and the click of heels echoing through polished marble floors. But the moment Lil Scrappy stepped into that courtroom, the air shifted. He wasn't just a man walking into a legal battle. He was walking into the eye of a storm years in the making. Hollow-eyed, jaw tight, nerves frayed, he looked like a man who hadn't slept since the truth started unraveling. Behind him, Stevie J entered with the arrogance of a man who knew something no one else did. The smug grin, the slow stroll, each subtle nod to the gallery. It was all theater. And sitting dead center in the first row, like it was front row at a reality TV reunion, was Bambi. Face beat, outfit flawless, but eyes darting like someone trying to predict where the first hit would land. They say courtrooms are places of order, justice, and truth. But that day, it felt more like the set of a drama series that had gone off script. Because this wasn't just about a breakup. It wasn't just about money. This was about betrayal layered so thick it could suffocate. And as the judge called the court to order, no one knew just how deep the chaos went. To understand what was about to unfold, you had to go back. Not weeks, not months, years. Back to when Scrappy was planning what he called his comeback, a new music venture, a reinvention of his brand. It was personal, passionate. He poured everything into it, time, energy, and nearly $250,000. That money, according to him, was for studio equipment, production, and a promotional rollout. But somewhere along the way, that $240,000 vanished. At first, Scrappy thought it was a banking error, then maybe a delay in wire transfers. But slowly, the explanation started falling apart. Things weren't adding up. Equipment didn't arrive. Contractors said they were never paid. Emails went unanswered, and then came the whispers. Whispers that Bambi had started a business of her own. Whispers that she used money from their joint account. Whispers that Stevie J was involved. And when Scrappy confronted her, he said she shrugged it off. It was a business move, she told him. You weren't focused. Someone had to be. The court documents painted a brutal picture, not just of financial manipulation, but emotional distance, alleged neglect, a relationship deteriorating from the inside while the outside world saw red carpets and Instagram posts. Then Stevie J dropped the first bomb. He took the stand early, voluntarily. Said he was there to clear the air. But what followed wasn't clarification. It was detonation. He claimed Bambi came to him asking how to discreetly transfer money from Scrappy's accounts. He admitted he gave her contact info for someone in crypto asset management. Claimed he thought it was above board, a joint investment. Then came the audio. A muffled voice, Bambi's allegedly, saying Scrappy wasn't serious about music, that she was protecting her own future, that he would get over it. Scrappy sat frozen. The court fell silent. And Bambi? She stared ahead, unmoving, but her lips trembled. For just a second. The prosecution didn't stop there. Texts between Bambi and a business manager. Talk of selling Scrappy's studio equipment, his custom mic, his pride, his tools. That same day, a fight nearly broke out in the courthouse bathroom. Scrappy's cousin confronted Bambi. Dior bags flew. Security stepped in. Mama D was allegedly filming the altercation from a stall, but the footage got lost. And then came the most chilling moment of the day. Stevie J looked at Bambi from the witness box and said, "You tried to play me like a pawn, but I'm the king on this board." The room gasped. The judge tried to regain order, but the court had lost its balance. Mama D, wrapped in fur like a soap opera villain, stood up shouting, "Tell the truth, Bambi, tell the truth." Security moved to escort her out. She screamed again, "You silenced Scrappy, but God gonna reveal it all." Stevie J smirked. Scrappy looked like a ghost of himself. And Bambi? She finally blinked. Once, the courtroom sketches leaked within hours. Stevie on the stand, Mama D mid-yell, Bambi stone-faced. Gossip pages had a field day. Memes exploded. The story was viral before court recessed, but it wasn't over, because day 2 brought a witness no one expected. Erica Dixon, dressed in black, sunglasses on, no emotion on her face. She walked past Bambi without even a glance. The gallery hushed. Erica wasn't subpoenaed. She came on her own. She had a flash drive, and when she handed it to the bailiff, everyone leaned forward. Inside was footage from an event Bambi attended just 2 months earlier. In it, she laughed, drink in hand, bragging. "I don't have to tell Scrappy nothing. His name gets the bag, whether he knows it or not." Scrappy's lawyer requested a break. Bambi's lawyer whispered frantically. She waved him off. The temperature in the room rose. Then came the Instagram leak. Screenshots from Bambi's close friend's story, captioned, "When you drain a man emotionally and financially but still come out with the house, the bag, and the followers." Even the judge asked if the post was satire. Bambi said, "Depends on who's watching." Silence again. Stevie J wasn't done. He submitted a sealed folder, labeled 2018-2021 Hidden Recordings. Whispers erupted. The judge approved a private review. But the rumors were already flying. Phone calls, investor pitches, laughing about contracts. A voice note saying, "I never loved him. I loved the lifestyle." Scrappy sat still, but his hands clenched. Then a break. Then whispers. Then a new witness. Not famous. Not glam. But devastating. A housekeeper, formerly employed by Scrappy and Bambi. Her affidavit, read aloud, claimed she overheard Bambi saying, "As long as he thinks I'm loyal, he won't look twice at the money." She found $80,000 in checks hidden in Bambi's closet, she said. Never opened, never cashed. Scrappy looked like he couldn't breathe. Mama D whispered scripture under her breath. Bambi didn't flinch. And the judge? She called for a recess. Because the court wasn't ready, and neither was anyone else. The next morning, the courthouse felt like the set of a blockbuster premiere. People weren't just arriving, they were lining up. The air was heavy with anticipation, and extra security had been stationed at every door. Not because of threats, but because the drama had reached a fever pitch. Inside, reporters were whispering, phones were half hidden in jacket sleeves, and the energy was thick with tension. Everyone was waiting for the sealed folder. The folder, Stevie J submitted the day before, labeled 2018-2021 Hidden Recordings. When the judge entered, the room stood, but the silence wasn't out of respect. It was suspense, the kind of silence that sits on your chest. The court officer wheeled in the speaker system. No one spoke. No one even cleared their throat. The pry. Judge nodded. The first recording began. Bambi's voice filled the courtroom. "I didn't even love him for real. I just needed that married title for tax benefits and brand deals." That's it. A gasp swept across the gallery. Scrappy didn't move, but you could see his body tense. Mama D reached for a tissue. Stevie J closed his eyes, like he was letting the moment wash over him. And Bambi, her expression didn't change. Not one bit. "I got the login to his Dro account. If I push some payments through the consulting shell company, ain't nobody gonna trace it back. Not even him." The room was stunned. The prosecution paused the audio. They looked directly at the judge. "Your Honor, based on this new evidence, we are requesting a full forensic audit of the defendant's business activities." The judge didn't hesitate. Granted, Bambi still didn't flinch, but her jaw was set so tight it looked like it might snap. And then came clip 3. The one that cracked everything open. Bambi's voice, mocking, cold, layered with contempt. He always talking about mental health. "I'm like, boy, ain't no therapist gonna save you from me. I am the trauma." Silence. Real silence. The kind that doesn't breathe. Scrappy looked like something inside him had shattered. His lawyer stood. "Your Honor, we are now officially pursuing both financial damages and emotional abuse restitution." Bambi's team was silent. Then the next blow landed. The forensic accountant had already started working. Mid-hearing, she walked in with an emergency report. "Your Honor, we have identified a business account under the name Royal Brand Management, LLC, opened by the defendant. The co-owner, Kendra Robinson." The gallery erupted. Kendra, young Jock's wife. The same young Jock who showed up at court during lunch break like it was an event. According to the accountant, that account had processed multiple brand payments using Scrappy and Bambi's names and likeness as a couple. Scrappy had no idea the account existed, no idea the funds had been diverted, and no record of receiving any of it. The judge looked stunned. "Is this a partnership or a conspiracy?" she asked. Kendra, not present in court, released a statement. "Was unaware of any deceitful intentions. I joined the company as a silent investor at Bambi's request and have since divested. I will cooperate fully with legal investigations." The court recessed. Bambi walked out with her head up, but for the first time, no smirk. Outside, paparazzi were waiting. Flashbulbs everywhere, reporters shouting questions. Inside, the story wasn't done, because after lunch, a final witness appeared. Bambi's own sister. She hadn't been in the public eye for years, appeared via video call, eyes swollen, voice trembling. She told me to sign fake invoices, companies that didn't exist. She said, "It's just for image. VH1 don't check. It's not fraud unless they find out." The courtroom froze again. The judge's face turned red. Scrappy lowered his head. Mama D whispered under her breath, "God ain't sleep." Then the gavel hit. The judge ordered an immediate freeze on all of Bambi's personal and business assets pending full investigation. She also granted Scrappy temporary full custody of their child. Until we can determine the financial and psychological safety of this child's environment, custody is reassigned to the father. That was the moment Bambi finally broke. She stood, screamed, "You can't take my child!" Her lawyer tried to restrain her. Court officers moved in. Flashbulbs burst through the hallway windows. The judge spoke over the chaos. "This is no longer a divorce. This is bordering on criminal misconduct. If a plea deal is not reached by end of day, we will proceed to sentencing." Court recessed. For real this time. No memes, no laughter. Just a heavy silence that followed every step outside. Stevie J gave a short interview to a small YouTube channel. "That's what happens when you play games with real ones. Karma don't miss." Scrappy? He left through the back. No words, just a face that looked like it had aged 5 years in 5 hours. Later that night, a message leaked, allegedly from Bambi, to her lawyer. "I don't care what I have to give up. Just don't let me go to jail." And so, in private chambers, a plea deal was struck. Bambi would relinquish all claims to Scrappy's royalties, pay back over $300,000 in misused funds, submit to psychiatric evaluation, undergo parental classes, and accept supervised visitation. For a minimum of 6 months, no press release, no staged apology, just silence. Scrappy hasn't spoken publicly since. Bambi deleted every post from her social media, removed Scrappy's name from her bio. VH1 issued a vague statement. "We are re-evaluating future participation of all parties involved." Translation: distance has been initiated. And the fans, they're still unpacking it. The lies, the footage, the betrayal. The fall of a reality TV couple they thought they knew. Because what happened in that courtroom wasn't just messy. It was legacy-level betrayal. Money lost, trust destroyed, a family fractured, and behind it all, a woman who thought she was playing chess. Turns out she was the pawn, and now the game's over.